Hello everyone. It's very important to know that in NIOS secondary maths, about 20 to 25 marks questions are taken from algebra, and similarly 20 to 25 mark questions are taken from geometry. So today we'll learn those very important questions from algebra chapter 5. So here we are going to learn linear equation in one variable and in two variables. So let's start with example 5.9, 5.10 as well as 5.11 from chapter number 5. So before getting into the word problems, it's necessary to learn these terms. For example, if you find a term called add, altogether, exceeds, sum, combined, increase, join, both, greater than. Suppose if you find these terms in word problems, you have to use the arithmetic operation called addition. That is, you are going to use plus sign over there. And suppose if you find terms called deduct, decrease by, difference, leftover, less than, reduce, remains, remove, take away. So suppose if you find these terms, you have to use the arithmetic operation called subtraction. So that is, you are going to use minus sign over there. So let's see example 5.9 from chapter number 5. It is given as the present age of Jacob's father is 3 times of Jacob. After 5 years, the difference of their ages will be 30 years. Find their present ages. So what we are going to do is, here we are going to separate Jacob's age and his father's age, as well as we are going to find their present age as well as after 5 years. So since Jacob's age is not given directly, so we are assigning his age as X. The age of Jacob is not given, so that's why we are writing it is unknown, that's why we are writing it as X. So what happens, what is the clue given for his father's age? The present age of Jacob's father is 3 times of Jacob. So here 3 times of Jacob, since it is compared, the present age of Jacob father is compared with Jacob. That's why we are giving first preference for Jacob's age. That's why we are assigning Jacob's age as X. So what happens after 5 years? Just we are going to add 5 more years to Jacob's age. Similarly, we are going to add 5 more years with his father's age. Very simple, right? So according to the question, we are going to find the difference between their ages, and the difference of their ages will be 30 years. It is given there, right? And what is the reason that we are not subtracting 3x plus 5 from x plus 5? Since we know that his father's age will be greater than the son's age, right? That's why we are subtracting x plus 5, that is Jacob's age, from his father's age. So when we find the difference of their ages, we'll be getting 30. So according to the question we have written, and what is the next step that we can do it? So 3x we can write as it is, 5 we are writing as it is. When minus is multiplied with plus x, we'll be getting minus x. When minus is multiplied with plus 5, we'll be getting minus 5. So what happens in the left hand side? Plus 5 and minus 5 gets cancelled. And what about with the 3x minus x? Since they are like terms, we can subtract it. So 3x minus x, will be getting 2x in the left hand side, and 30 we are writing as it is. So since our aim is to find the value of x, 2 is multiplied with x, right? So when we divide it, automatically 2 will be eliminated, so that we can find the value of x. So 2 and 2, 2 should be divided both in the left hand side as well as in the right hand side. So when we divide, we will be getting x in the left hand side. So what happens in the right hand side? How many 2's are there in 30? We'll be having 15 2's are there, isn't it? So 2 into 15 is equal to 30. So 15 2's are there in the right hand side. So the value of x is equal to 15. So what we have assigned for Jacob age at present we have assigned it as X, isn't it? So the Jacob's age is equal to 15 years. And what about his father's age? 45 years. So see, 3 into 15. When we replace 15 over here, 3 into 15 will be getting 45 years. That's it. Shall we go to the next question? Example 5.10. The sum of three consecutive even integers is 36. Find the integers. So what is given here? The sum of three consecutive even integers. So just now we have read sum. When you find the term called sum, what we have to do? Addition operation we have to do it. So let us take the let the integers be x. And what about consecutive even integers? Consecutive means it's like following each other numbers continuously. So for example, if I take x here, it is taken as consecutive even integers. If it is not given as even integers, it will be like x plus 1. Since it is given as even integers, x plus 2 we have taken. What about the third number? X plus 4. Since it is given as sum, we are using plus over here. So sum of three consecutive integers. We have three integers, right? So first integer is going to be taken as x. Since the number is not given, we are taking it as unknown and we are assigning the unknown as x. And the second number is going to be x plus 2. What is the third number? X plus 4. The sum of three consecutive even integers is equal to 36. So we are writing as it is in the next step. So now we have x plus x plus x. Since they are like terms, we can add it. So how many x are there? We have 3x, and here we have constant term, that is 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. In the right hand side we are writing 36 as it is. To find the value of x, 6 is along with 3x, isn't it? So that's why we need to subtract so that we can find the value of x. When we subtract 6 in the left hand side, obviously 6 has to be subtracted in the right hand side also. So what happens now? 6 and 6 gets 0. What happens in the right hand side? 36 minus 6 is equal to 30. So what is the next step that we can do it? Since x is multiplied with 3, we are going to divide it both in the left hand side as well as in the right hand side. So when we divide it, what happens in the left hand side? We'll be having x, and what happens in the right hand side? How many? Just we are going to divide it. Check how many 3's are there in 30. We have 10 30's are there, 10 3's are there, right? 10 3's are 30. Then we found the value of x. The integers are, since we have assigned x as the first even integer, we have taken as 10. And what about the second integer? When we replace x here, what do we get? 10 plus 2 is equal to 12. And again we are going to replace here. We are going to replace 10 here in the third integer. So 10 plus 4 is equal to 14. Again, if you want to check, you can also check it. 10 plus 12 plus 14, you will be getting it as 36. That's it. Let's go to, let's learn example 5.11. The length of a rectangle is 3 centimeter more than its breadth. If its perimeter is 34 centimeter, find its length and breadth. So here we have drawn a rectangle, and here the length is taken. Here we have taken its breadth. So we know that the perimeter of the rectangle is equal to 2 into L plus B units. And what is mean by perimeter? It's the distance around the outer edge of a flat shape. So that is what call it as perimeter. So here the perimeter is given here. So perimeter we have written, and what else is also given? The length of a rectangle is 3 centimeter more than its breadth. The length of the rectangle is compared with its breadth. So the first preference should be given to its breadth because the length is compared with its breadth. So the first preference should be given to which it is compared with. So since the value of the breadth is not given, we are going to assign it as, we are going to take that unknown as x. So we are taking breadth is equal to x, and what happens to its length? It is given as length of a rectangle is 3 centimeter more than. More than means we have to use the arithmetic operation called plus. So we are using plus here. 3 plus x, because more than its breadth, right? Already we have assigned the breadth as x. That's why we have written as L is equal to 3 plus x. So what happens in the next step? We are going to replace the value of x, value of L. So we have assigned it as L is equal to 3 plus x. In the B, we have taken as x. So what happens in the next step? Since x plus x are like terms, we can add it. Is it possible to add 3? We should not take it as 3 plus x is as 5x. Should not. No, it should not be happen. We can add x plus x as 2x. We can't add the constant term along with this x term. So now we can write as it is. So what happens in the right hand side, since we have to find the value of x, we have to eliminate 2 so that we can simplify. So to eliminate 2 in the right hand side, we have to divide it, because it is in terms of multiplication. That's where we are dividing it. When we divide in the right hand side, the same operation should be done in the left hand side also. So when I divide 2 in the left hand side, how many 2's are there in 34? We have 17 2's are there. So after simplifying, we will be getting here as 17. So what happens now? So we'll be remaining with 3 plus 2x in the right hand side. Again, our aim is to find the value of x. So if you want to subtract uh, to eliminate 3 in the right hand side, the same number has to be subtracted in the left hand side also. So when I subtract 17, when I subtract 3 from 17, you will be getting 14. And what happens in the right hand side? 3 minus 3 gets 0. In the right hand side, you will be left over with 2x. So again, we have to find the value of x. That is, we have to simplify. So what happens now? 2, it is in terms of multiplication. So we need to divide it both in the right hand side as well as in the left hand side by using 2. So when I divide it in the right hand side, you will be having x, and what happens in the left hand side? How many 2's are there in 14? You will be having 7 2's are there. So the answer is x is equal to 7. So since we have assigned breadth is equal to x, so we found the value of breadth, and the breadth is equal to 7 centimeter. So again, the length is equal to 3 plus x, isn't it? So 3 plus, we found the value of x is equal to 7. So 3 plus 7 is equal to 10 centimeter. And the perimeter of the rectangle is given as 34 centimeter. That's why we are writing in terms of centimeter. Thank you.